what is the correlation in between The Wizard of Oz and Pink Floyd?
Allegedly, if you do your eyes like this, you have like 3,000 martinis, and also you did all sorts of illegal substances, and you play the album Dark Side of the Moon from the beginning to the end, while the movie is also played at the same time, both of them are gonna synchronize beautifully, and it almost gives the impression that the Dark Side of the Moon was written as the soundtrack for the original Wizard of Oz movie. Have you seen it?
I actually have seen it.
I also have seen it. What do you think about that?
You're talking about the movie or the phenomenon?
The phenomenon. Both. Have you seen the movie? The movie is a classic for
I have seen the movie, yes. And the movie is good.
Whimsical.
It was revolutionary at the time because it was breaking new ground.
Why? Let me explain briefly. The thing is that movie, if I am not incorrect, is one of the first, if not the first, fully featured film that was produced in Technicolor, technology that back in the day was super revolutionary and groundbreaking because it allowed movies to be in color, not black and white. Not for real. It looks like no. In reality, it's actually a game changer because up until that moment, movies were all black and white.
Mm-hmm.
And they did something amazing because if you have seen the movie, well, if you haven't, spoiler alert. I
think we were past the time.
At this station time, yes. But the thing is that they did something cinematographically speaking amazingly well and fantastic. The first half of the movie, when Dorothy is still in Kansas, it's all shot in black and white. And when she arrives to the land of Oz, as soon as she gets out of the house, the wreckage of the house, everything's Technicolor. So imagine being there in the audience, man. Wow! Yeah. Yes.
Because this is very
100%.
fitting, because it's actually mind-blowing.
Imagine that. That's why the movie, among many more things, is so cherished.
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine being there, for real.
But now, coming back to the actual topic of this conversation.
Question. Have you seen it?
I have seen it. And I have seen it with the album played in the backdrop.
What do you think? Does it work?
It works. It does work, because it has very specific sections of both the album and the movie where you can see easily the correlation, and I think in other parts you kind of go with it, but honestly I'd say the more pinpointed segments of both movie and album that you can notice this synchronicity. I think you have the moment where actually the house is spinning and she's actually leaving Kansas. Allegedly, and what's going on in the song fits.
Yeah.
You have that sense of twistedness of that motion, and it feels like you're being taken from one place that you know to a whole new place that you don't know what you expect.
Yep.
And even the song kind of has a little bit of that as well. Another point, which I can remember because it's been now many years since I last did the experiment.
Yes.
And is when money plays in the album.
Mm-hmm.
And I think is where Dorothy reaches the yellow brick road.
Yeah, the yellow brick road.
And it also, you have that correlation with the sound of money and the yellow bricks. Again, how much of a stretch?
It's like it's not jumping the shark. No. It's Olympic level.
It's fitting.
It's
fitting.
Shark jumping.
It's fitting. Now, to the question to rule them all.
Was that done in purpose?
Yes.
Clearly not. It's a happenstance.
Why would you say such a thing?
Well, just think about this. The album was released when 70 what?
72
or 3?
3, I think.
Yes. Correct us if we are wrong, but I think we're not. So, let's play by year. It was released in 73. By the time of the record being made, the movie was already considered to be old. Understandably so. But we're harkening back to the time in which computers weren't even a glimpse on the radars. Was not even an idea. So what could be done easily today, which is synchronizing audio with music or a software used to produce music, back in the day would have been an incredible affair to pull off, because back in that day everything, music and film, were shot and recorded to tape, and those are based on mechanical circuits, mechanical components, and everything regarding that. Which means that synchronizing both would have been not only insanely hard to do, possible, that's how they did it, but it would have made it incredibly more expensive than it was already. Just recording the album and producing it. Just by that very reason, it's already insane.
Yeah.
Secondly, when it got popular, Not in the 70s when the album got released, right?
Wasn't it?
No, of course. Why? Did people have access to home video back then?
No.
No. It was until VHS and Betamax and all that stuff in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, would you invest? Just think, try to pretend that you're Pink Floyd. Are you going to invest an incredible amount of extra money for a stunt that you will never promote as the band during the heyday of the album, being the most successful album in their entire career, mind you, also being the album that put them on the map, mind you again, you wouldn't promote such a stunt?
But look, on that part,
For it to be discovered,
look.
for it to be discovered, like 15 years later, using technology that you didn't have an idea that could be possible, for it to become popular 20 years after its alleged discovery during the 80s, I'm pretending that it was discovered during the 80s, to be distributed and made popular and turn itself into an urban legend, using a technology that was even more advanced, beyond their comprehension, something that they didn't even have an idea that could exist.
I think you are underestimating the vision. Look, you mentioned the marketing aspect of it. Let's stick to that for a second.
Okay.
Let's stick to that for a second. You were coming from the point of why would they make such an effort and not make a fuss about it? But see the result that led us to the mythology that was created with the synchronicity in between the album and the movie.
Yeah.
Took them from a legendary status, which they had already garnished from the album itself, to a mythological godlike status, Arthurian, Titanic,
Hyperborean,
and even perhaps a mega blockbuster
hit movie
status that it came from this phenomenon. So, what if they did it knowingly with the vision that it would take them from the status of just another good band to a godlike status of a phenomenon that can foresee even time itself.
Because we're talking about Pink Floyd. Of
course.
Pink Floyd is capable of that and even more. Talking about overrated. Damn it. And look, I love Pink Floyd with my guts. One of the best bands ever, one of my most influential bands ever, not only as a musician, music producer, but also as somebody who has devoted his entire life to rock music. It was, among many other things, them. But come on!
Come on, man!
No, but look, you gotta take one thing, not for granted, but you gotta concede that having done it on purpose is extremely far-fetched. You already made the point about technology, all of that makes sense. But isn't it far-fetched, the fact that it happened as well?
That's, I think, our brains and our fanboyness playing tricks on us.
You think so?
Man, 100%, because just imagine synchronizing both.
But we're talking about Pink Floyd.
Of course, no, but we're talking about people, not Pink Floyd this time around. Because in order for this to work correctly, both the video and the movie and the music have to be played at the very goddamn same moment. And they have to follow a certain amount of steps for them to be synced correctly. Nowadays it's easy because digitally speaking, you just press play on both from the beginning and that's it. Back in the day you couldn't, because also on vinyl there is a little bit of a gap at the beginning that allows you to put the needle at the point before the music actually begins. Do that. Attempt to do that in synchronization with the movie. It's impossible, man.
But again,
Pink Floyd was so freaking revolutionary that they even foresaw that.
Look, the fact is, to a lesser or higher degree, the same things. Yeah. You can fill in some certain blanks, but we in our minds do a lot of the work as well. But the fact still stands, a good chunk of it sinks. Now, you already did all of the objective analysis of why not. But the amount of variables in the universe for such a thing to occur by chance, it sounds to me almost as far-fetched as it being done by accident.
So you're saying that it's like a conspiracy theory?
Is that definitely.